Welcome back, YouTube. It's your host, Bruce GNT, and we're here to talk about, man, what the hell they put in our goddamn food. Because it's ridiculous that we have to worry about certain things that they put in there, whether it's for flavor, whether it's for color, or whatever have you, possibly poisoning us in the long run. It's crazy. Or the fact that what we have in our food isn't present overseas in other countries, and they won't allow our food or certain products of our food to be in their country because they said, nah, we don't want that toxic shit over here. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been to other countries. I know they don't allow certain foods over there. I had a homegirl that came from Japan when I was in the service. She told me, she was like, look, y'all food here is not good. One, she said our candy's too sweet. Overall, she said things are too big and like oversaturated with sugar. That's what she said over here. And I'm forced to believe it's just a true thing. It's sad. We're really killing ourselves with sugar and fat. It's crazy. But without further ado, let's jump right into this video and see what they're trying to ban from our food.
As U.S. health officials announced plans to phase out 8 artificial dyes from our food supply.
Fox 8's Richard Jacobus explains which products are being targeted and how they're being replaced.
From grocery store aisles to the candy counter, colorful food on shelves have been appealing to kids of all ages for decades. But for anyone trying to avoid colorful cereals and gummy bears without many healthy alternatives, they sometimes have no choice. But that's about to change.
If they want to eat petroleum, they ought to add it themselves at home. But they shouldn't be feeding it to the rest of us.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. making a promise that he would crack down on colorful additives in food. As part of his Make America Healthy Again agenda, Kennedy, along with the newly confirmed head of the Food and Drug Administration, Marty Makary, kept a promise today announcing that by the end of 2026, the FDA will eliminate 8 commonly used petroleum-based synthetic food dyes from the U.S. food supply.
For the last 50 years, American children have increasingly been living in a toxic soup of synthetic chemicals. The scientific community has conducted a number of studies raising concerns about the correlation between petroleum-based synthetic dyes and several health conditions.
So here's my thing, right? I'm all glad about what they're doing. Honestly, this is part of the reason why I was behind RFK for like a long while. Don't get me wrong, I'm not for every single last thing that he says. I know some of y'all there being like, do you agree with what he said about autism? I thought about making a video about that because a lot of people just jumped and said, he said this. No, if you watch the whole 30-minute video, which I know some of y'all didn't, that's not what he said exactly. I don't like making videos about things that are just simply, if you watch it, you'll see exactly what's being said. That's it. Because it pisses me off they had to explain something that's super simple. But besides that point, this is why I was behind RFK Jr. for like the longest time, because he saw, which I'm pretty sure everyone else does, but they did nothing about it. He saw that we were eating poison. That's essentially what it is. We're eating poison and it's terrible for us. It's terrible. And I remember like every time I would talk about certain things or certain like, just certain things related to health and like food and drug and everything like that, which why food and drug are in the same organization, don't know, but that's another conversation. People always bring up the FDA. And I was like, look, I'm not all for just believing everything with the FDA, because people would say, oh, well, I forgot one argument I got into with someone. They said, well, if that was the case, the FDA wouldn't allow it. The FDA allows a lot of shit in our food, in our products that we shouldn't be consuming. And they have studies showing, hey, look, this is bad. And they're just like, yeah, no, I mean, you want your gummy worms to look vibrant, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Look at the back of any like hyper processed food, candy, even the sugar cereals and everything like that. Look at the back and then look at whatever you don't understand, like whatever ingredient they have there, and then look it up, and then you're gonna see that it has some type of tie to like cancer, some other type of carcinogen that you really shouldn't be consuming. You're gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, he's keeping to his promise. You know this, like this, all this research has been done. It's not like people didn't know this. This is a well-known fact among people that actually give a damn about their health and really want to look into these things. Like, this isn't unknown. The FDA has known this for years. For years. But I digress. Let's get back to the video.
And it's not just the candy, like the jelly beans and the gummy bears, that contain these synthetic food dyes. Walk into any grocery store and down any grocery store aisle, whether it's cereal or baked goods, pick up a label, and you're bound to read the ingredients in fine red, blues, and yellows. But if RFK Jr. gets his way in 2 years, these shells will look a lot different.
They're really just there to make the colors vibrant and supposedly appealing.
Before President Trump took office, the FDA banned red dye number 3 after studies linked the dye to cancer in animals. Dr. Melissa Ring says there are health.
like I said, I did a video on that. They had it banned out of cosmetics for over 35 years because they knew that it caused cancer in animals, but they just recently now banned it. Just now. And what they were going to do is just go over to red dye 40. But since he's doing this right now, thank God, because this needs to be like it causes cancer. Like what the why? Don't get me wrong, people still out there smoking cigarettes even though they know it causes cancer, but that's their prerogative. Let's give people a choice when it comes to all this nonsense, you know, all the additives and whatnot, because it's hard to find anything that doesn't have like even half of what they put in all this food in some of the more healthy ingredients. It's really hard. Another point that I kind of want to talk about is that when it comes to red dye 3, it's being banned, right? But it's not going to be an immediate thing. So what I mean by that is they have up to 2 years to make sure that all the products that have red dye 3 in it is completely taken out. So we're not going to see the effects or changes of that well into 2027. So my question is this, right? When they say artificial food dyes will be banned by 2026, is it saying that it will be put into effect in 2026 and they have 2 years, so it's actually 2028? Or are they saying that it's starting now and by the end of 2026 going to 2027 we're going to see the effects then? That's my question.
Healthy alternatives companies can use when dyeing food, like turmeric or carrot juice, ingredients that wouldn't be considered harmful to one's health.
I think we're going to see a difference. I think there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do this.
Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. This is an absolute win. I don't see how you can see this as like a bad thing. This is an absolute win in my book. We need this. We do. A lot of these dyes, they say, are tied to a whole lot of health issues and possibly mental issues. I'm not going to touch on that too much because I don't have the exact science and I don't like speaking about things unless I know exactly what I'm talking about. At least 95% know what I'm talking about. But I know for a fact that those dyes are not good. When you look at the dyes and the effects that they have, it tells you. Like, look up, like, I don't know, red dye 40 or blue 5 or blue 3, whatever the hell they have out there. Look it up. Pay attention to how many things is in when it comes to our food. It's a lot and it's scary. So this is a step in the right direction. I'm looking forward to more things when it comes to the health initiative. And just be more cognizant of what you're putting into your body. Pay attention to what you're eating and have an active role and want to know about how to keep yourself healthy because you only have one body. And it's easy to say, wow, I feel good now. When you hit 30s, I'm not 30, I'm just saying. When you hit like 30 and above, that's when you really start to feel it. So we gotta get healthy, people. We gotta do what we gotta do. You guys already know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below. Tell me, are you excited for this? Like, are you happy to see that we're possibly going into the right direction when it comes to like what we're putting into our bodies and how we're eating and how we're treating ourselves in a health wise? Because I know I am. This is something that needs to happen. It needs to change. And honestly, if you could find some healthy alternatives for like a lot of these cereals, I'm a big fan of cereal. Sorry, I'm a child. I can't wait to jump back on my Captain Crunch and Tricks. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie because I had to cut all that shit out now that I'm eating healthier. It's a struggle. It's such a struggle. But yeah, tell me down in the comments what you think about it. And subscribe if you want more. Peace.